Motivation does not keep up with you.
Yeah.
You got to keep up with your dream or whatever you're after.
Yeah, your drive.
You got to keep up with yourself.
Yeah, you have to have an internal
You can't
drive,
have other people going, yeah, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. You can't have mama, daddy is not going to always.
It's your boy TTMT
and King D Money here with the
D&D Leveling Up Podcast.
Hey guys, we know the information that we're giving you guys is leveling up your lives in so many great ways. First things first though, we need you guys to
like, comment, subscribe, and share.
That is so essential, guys, and we'll catch you in the podcast.
Deuces.
Here we go, guys.
Here we go. What are you doing?
Perfect. Look, just like I sat there, you will sit there if you think that motivation is going to keep you throughout your entire process of whatever you're trying to get into.
Yeah.
That's motivation right there.
That's motivation right there.
Like, come on, like, you got to stop going to motivation to keep the train going.
Yeah.
If you find yourself stuck, you started something, you can't keep it going. You're like, oh, I need motivation. I don't have the motivation. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Motivation and why it's keeping you from your dreams. Right here. Motivation's supposed to help me out. It's supposed to do this for me. It's supposed to do that for me. And it's gonna sustain me while I go through this and while I go through that.
Yeah.
And as I've gone through my journey of even doing this podcast, motivation was something to start me off.
Yeah, you got motivated from the beginning, but it doesn't sustain over time.
It doesn't sustain you. It doesn't give you that satiation.
Yeah.
To the same motivation that you use to start, it's not going to be the motivation you use to keep going.
To continue, exactly, because you only have a certain amount of energy, and this is the thing. You've got to have, you told me something last week, bro, that helped me out so much. He's like. And I had thought about, you think about these other things, and it motivated me because he's like, man, just make a decision. Just make a decision and stick to that decision. And I had thought about this before about other things, but it helped me because it's like, I just, I really need to just make that decision, buckle down on it. Because once you make the decision, there's peace. When you're in between two opinions, and it's not like you're in between the two opinions on purpose. It's because you have a desire to do something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That you want to do. And the other thing that's pulling you doing things you don't want to do, but you doing it anyway. Like the whole thing with Paul, like, I want to do good, but every time I try to do good, I do evil.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, I'm just going to decide to be good.
That's it.
I'm not going to do anything else other than that. Or I'm just going to decide to do this every day, and I'm going to change the way I do it. Now, that is a decision. That decision, that'll dictate everything else. You know what I'm saying?
It'll make or break you.
It'll make or break you.
Like, you'll be like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Yeah. And I believe that first vision that we get of anything we're getting ready to start is very powerful. But it cannot keep you going.
Yeah, it can't keep you going. No.
Like, the discipline of saying, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Cutting. I think discipline is a cut.
It is. It's a cut.
It's a split of indecisiveness.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to do it. Yeah. Like, either you're going to or you're not.
Exactly.
You got to pick a side.
Yeah.
Now, when you pick a side, it all becomes a lot easier.
And it becomes clear. Too.
It comes way clearer. You get the picture that you actually want. You can see what you're going to do. And even if you get scared, you have the discipline to keep doing something to keep you going towards your goal.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's deep,
if you don't make the decision, you're pausing. If you're waiting on motivation, you're pausing, and it'll make you so uncomfortable that you don't even want to do it anymore.
You won't even do it. And the funny thing is the hardest part is taking the first step. Like you're talking about the whole the car situation,
right?
With you and your wife. Like even taking the first step, you could have been like, you know what? I'm not really motivated to do this. I'm not interested in doing. And if you wait on motivation to do stuff, you're never gonna get anything.
No. It's gonna let you down at some point in time. Yeah. Like, it may get you started.
Yeah.
You know, somebody might show you. You might go to like we went to the podcast summit.
Yeah, exactly.
Last year.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Shout out to them.
So many things we wanted to. Oh, the things we had to do when we got back from that.
Right, it's crazy.
From that summit, man, was insane. We got back from the podcast summit, y'all.
We were full.
Met David Shans.
Yeah.
Met Donnie Wiggins. Met everybody there. We mixing and mingling, like, oh man, we got stuff to do.
Yeah, we got
stuff to do.
Inspired.
And then you get notes.
Yeah.
And you get all these notes and everything, and then
compile.
Yeah, and then you do like maybe 4 things. If you're good, you do maybe like 4 of those things that you saw at the podcast. You might. That's the motivation. It's like, oh, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
Yeah.
And then like week go by.
Yeah.
If you didn't do nothing about it, you start feeling.
Yeah.
Start feeling like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're back in the same
routine,
circle again.
Things that you do,
and you haven't decided to make your podcast better.
Yeah.
You've just felt like it would get better. It's gonna get better because I came here.
Because I came on.
Like something else has to affect me.
Yeah.
For me to get better.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
I see motivation as. You ever watched sports on like ESPN?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You ever watch track and field?
Not too often, but I do watch track and field.
I like track and field. My parents used to have me watch everything.
Okay.
We watched everything from the little ball on the floor for skiing.
Yeah.
What's that called? Where they scrub the floor.
Hey, it's called curling.
Curling. You know why it's called curling?
Because I used to live in Canada. And Canada is from curling. That's why.
There it is.
Yeah.
So I used to watch curling, dirt bikes, BMX. I watched everything. I watched monster truck shows. Football, basketball, track and field was pretty dope to me though. So when you watch track and field, if you're watching like a 100-meter dash, they start in these. I want to call them stirrups.
Yeah, the stirrups.
Like they started like where you put your feet to get a good hold onto the ground to push off, right? Those, and then you push off there. You go running for however you're supposed to be going. Now, if you're going 100, you're going straight through.
Yeah.
But if you're going the 400 meter or 200, you're gonna wrap around about 8 times, maybe 4 times, 2 times. Now, when you come around, most of the time those stirrups aren't there.
Of course, they're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah,
you can't have them there. You know why?
You trip.
Because you trip.
Exactly.
Motivation is those stirrups, bro. Motivation is where you get the footing to push off.
Wow, that is dope. That's dope, bro.
To me, that's where you get the motivation to push off. And you can't have it there when you come back around.
No, you can't.
You're going on a trip.
Yeah. And it's a mindset going around that round.
You got to go around. You got to remember, like hold on. If I come back to the same motivation that I had before, I'm going to trip.
Yeah, bro. That's great.
I'm going to fall because it's not going to be enough to get me through the rest of my race. I'm not at the same state I was.
You know what it is? I realize when we think about going on journeys and we start off with something that motivates us to get to a certain level, we assume that there's going to be something else down the road that's going to keep us running on that when it's not as exciting.
There's going to be something affecting us.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Not as exciting or glamorous as it be. Because, we made a decision when we first started. It's like, we're going to do this regardless. So once you make a decision like, okay, it doesn't matter what's going on with it, where we're seeing tons of subscribers or any subscribers or whatever, we're going to always give me the mindset like, yeah, we're going to take this to the next level. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You got to be in that mindset like, okay, we got the motivation because we got a certain amount of subscribers. We got a certain amount of action. We got a certain amount of things going on. But you can't let that stop the initial decision to be like, yeah, I'm doing this, and no matter what anybody says, I'm going to continue doing it.
There it is. You got to keep it. And in life, you got to keep a pace, man.
Yeah.
If you want to keep up, if you want to finish, you got to keep that pace.
Yeah.
Like you can't let anything come in. Like like Dirk was saying, man. When we decided to do this, it was like, okay, if we're gonna do it, we got to make it happen. Like,
gotta make it happen.
Like this is an ongoing thing. This is about a year and a half in.
Yeah, exactly,
bro. And we started out with audio only, and just having the conversations.
Yeah.
And now we're like, okay, structure.
Yeah.
we're like, oh, now we feeling like, oh, we're getting kind of serious about this. We're leveling up. It's like, okay, merch.
Merch.
All right.
Exactly.
Okay, we don't have everybody watching just yet,
exactly.
but we got our own merch.
Yeah.
All right, we believe in ourselves enough to even let this thing mature.
Correct.
And to grow into something. And I feel like my culture or our culture doesn't like to let our things mature.
Wow.
Bro, we have to grow it, bro.
Yeah.
But like everything else, it has to start from somewhere. You want that orange tree.
True.
But you got to take those seeds.
Yeah.
Plant it.
Exactly.
And wait.
Yeah.
You can have what you want, but you got to believe that it's going to mature and it's going to happen for you.
Yeah, the patience to mature, because think about it, like we don't realize like bamboo trees take years to grow.
Man.
Like when you first sprout them, they take years and years for them to grow. So when you see bamboo trees have been growing, they've been growing for like 10, 12 years to get to a certain point.
Yeah.
So, but you've got to be able to get to the point where even when you're seeing things that are not the way that you want them to be, you have to have the maturity and discipline to still keep your head down, still keep going. Regardless of if you're going around the corner, you keep seeing the same people. Just keep going around seeing the same people until you get to the finish line. And the thing about it is, like, I think in our minds, we're so busy thinking about finish lines, we're never worrying about trying to enjoy the journey and think about, like, listen, just be grateful for the journey that you're making.
There we go. And that's, I feel like when people do that, they aren't thinking about changing their motivation that they started with.
Yeah.
They aren't thinking about, okay, we're going to enjoy the journey, but enjoying the journey takes a repetition.
Yeah, repetition.
It takes discipline. The things that beat motivation.
Yeah.
Your answer to not needing motivation is repetition, discipline, moving forward in it without thinking about all the other outside aspects.
True.
You have to have a set mind to do what you determined you were going to do. You can have it if you say you're going to do it.
True.
Do it.
Yeah, do it. Just get to it.
The only reason you need motivation is because you told yourself you're not going to do it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's not even that you believe you're not going to do it. You told yourself,
feel like
I don't see myself doing this all the time.
Exactly.
Somebody else did it, and if they couldn't do it.
Exactly.
I know. I got to believe in myself. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Oh man, believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to count on me.
Yeah. That is I realized something that's really important. A lot of times, even with music, sometimes you got to learn how to trust yourself. A lot of times people don't trust, like, if you're learning a melody, you got to repeat it over and over and over. I used to repeat a melody over and over on in music and jazz to the point I felt so comfortable. No matter who was there, I could play it with my eyes closed, but I had to learn to trust myself instead of always, like, sometimes you get in a situation where you're playing guitar, right?
Yeah.
And since I play keyboards, I could look at the keyboard player, I could just play what he's playing. But after a period, I'm like, why am I doing? I could hear it, I could see it. Now, if I make sure to learn it on my own without having to depend on that person in that time period, because sometimes it'd be a situation where you might not come, they might surprise you, and you're not playing the song that they prepared you for. So I can look at what somebody's doing and mimic what they're doing. But then if I trust my ears, I can also do that as well if I trust myself. And sometimes when we're trying to do certain things, because we don't have a reference point, we don't learn how to listen to what's going on inside of us and trust ourselves to be able to do the things we know we could possibly do.
That's another point, guys. That's another answer to not. If you don't have the motivation, here's another solution right here.
Yeah.
Trusting yourself to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, you got to say, look, this is going to happen. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Make it happen. Decide. Tether that indecision. Just separate yourself from it.
Yeah.
I am going to do it. No one's going to stop me. Even if they try to stop me, it's going to get done.
Yeah.
I have to make my way through. I have to push my way through. There's so many things that I told this story to Dirk on the other podcast that we just did. We just did our first D&D level up short.
Yeah, exactly.
And we were talking about having the faith to just go for it and stop thinking of all the wrong things that can happen.
Yeah.
Like I had to put myself in my new mindset of what's the best that could happen.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, it was a credit situation. I was like, okay, I might not be able to borrow from some other people right now because I'm overextended a little bit. Okay. Okay, who's not?
Yeah,
Let's be real. Okay. I'm a
people
little overextended. Most people are.
Yeah.
Most United States citizens are.
Unless you're financially independent.
Unless you, if you got it like that, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You did your due diligence. You're a step ahead of me.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't think you're too far. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted.
You're not too far ahead of me, all right? I'm right behind you.
Catch up real soon.
Real soon, all right? Soon come.
Soon come.
All right? So, I'm like, okay, we're going to go see about this car. We'll see if I can, I already got a car on my credit. Yeah. So, if you know credit, most of the time they don't let you put another car.
No.
Another bank will not lend you another car. Usually, you got to find some other bank that'll take a chance on you. Yeah. And you got to be in the right dealership to find a bank that will take that chance on you. You got to pick a car that's within what they'll loan you.
Yeah, exactly. Within that bracket.
Within the bracket of what they'll loan you. So I'm like, oh man, I don't know. So in my head, I am unlendable. Yeah. I'm just like, I can't do it. Yeah. We're gonna just go and look. Yeah. I'm gonna say we're gonna go look. Let's go look. Let's go see what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen. Okay. Yeah. Get in there, paperwork, blah 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 blah. Hey man, we see you got another car on your credit. Blah 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 blah. We're gonna try some other banks. I say, okay.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do.
Exactly. I'm just gonna sit right here. And
it's like I'm gonna let y'all know. Like yeah. I had enough cash to pay for it. But why would I want to use my own money all at one time?
That's
why would I drop that in somebody else's lap?
Exactly. That is another key, really. To be honest with you, don't use your own money.
Don't you?
Use other people's money.
On the next podcast, other people's money.
Other people's money. Don't use your money.
OPM.
OPM.
Check that out. All right. It's gonna be in the description below.
Yes.
All right. Other people's money. Here we go. So I get in there and I'm like, okay, yeah. Oh man, we found you some bank nobody knows. Yeah. I don't know this. I don't know the bank at all. But they're lending. They're lending
somebody.
They're lending to somebody. Yeah. I'm like, okay, here, boom, cars, take the car home. Car works perfect. Yeah. It works great.
What if you never?
And what if I never just said, let's go look?
Yeah. What if you did your wife was she interested in going looking or she?
She was in complete disbelief.
Complete disbelief.
Complete disbelief because it wasn't something. It was something I've been talking about. Talking. I got tired of talking. Yeah. I said I'm gonna go try. So I'll let them tell me no. Yeah. Before I tell myself no.
Correct. And that's a lot of to be honest with you, that's a lot of things in life. We're not willing to go out there and put ourselves on a limb to figure out what could possibly happen because we're already defeated in our mind before you even got there.
The war has already started and it's over before you even talk to anybody else.
You know, like Sun Tzu with The Art of War, he talks about the fact that the war has already been done. The battle's already been done before it even started. Because there's already things in place that sets it because of the mindset. Like if you have the general and another general's here and he's played it out like chess. He's already had everything laid out, and he's confident in his ability and tactical to be able to do certain things. They've already played that out in their mind. People already play out and even if you get thrown something by that you didn't expect, right? You can still find a way in through certain situations if you have the same mindset to win, or have a mindset to have at least some type of faith that let me just try. Let me see. You know what I'm saying?
See what's going to go. Let's go see what's going to happen.
Exactly.
I am going to use tactics before I go in there though. Yeah. Like, cause I you know what I'm saying. Then you got to say, okay, well, I'm in the door.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Now what I'm going to do when I get there.
Exactly.
It's like, people will be like, hey man, what you got to say about what people will be like, what do you got to say about credit? What should I do to raise my credit score? I say, what is the purpose?
What is the purpose
of what you're going to do? What are you going to do with it?
What are you going to do with it
once you get it?
Once you get there.
Because then it'll dictate what you do after you get what you get.
Exactly. Because you could just get credit and just spend it all, and then your credit is ruined because you're you have a high utilization, and that's going to bring your credit score down.
Or let's say you're going to go buy a house, and you decide to take a loan out on a car or some big purchase before you get the house, the bank is going to say, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know, any realtor with, you know, any sense in their head to tell you, look, if you're gonna get this house, don't buy anything until after you get the house. It has to be you have to be purposeful with what you're talking about when you're trying to talk about raising your credit score. It's the motivation.
Yeah.
It like the first picture got you going.
Exactly.
And then like you get all the way in there, you're like, hold on.
What's your incentive?
What's your incentive? What's your
incentive and reason by the things that you're doing? Like, you know, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So this week, man, how did you feel that you leveled up this week, brother?
This week, I took the time to edit a little bit differently this week.
Okay.
I took a little time to add ads and certain things into the podcast, and I studied a little bit more on our conversation that we was gonna have today.
Okay.
It's like it wasn't just like, okay, I'm gonna pop up, start talking to Dirk, and then we're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah.
I actually said some of the things that I just said in the car before I got here.
Okay.
Or earlier this week.
Yeah.
Like I said, okay, I'm gonna come up with some. Like I'm thinking, like, oh, I want to tell a story. Yeah. While I level up.
Okay.
So that's my week in a nutshell. With the leveling up.
And it's interesting you should say that because we did a lot of leveling up last week. I don't know if you released that or if it's been released yet, but it was basically us just going and working on the podcast and putting it into buckets. So for instance, this is one of the portions of our playlist when it has to do with personal growth. And that's the reason why we're doing certain things. We want you guys to understand that we're doing things in a specific manner, and in the actual content that we have, we're creating segments and genres for them, so that you have a specific amount of things that meets the attention or meets your specific need. So if you have a need for personal growth in your finances, in motivation, mental, you remember our podcast about like leveling up mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and financially. So all those aspects, we're having different buckets or different subgenres or different topics for those for you and on our podcast. You want to say something?
There it is, man. Leveling up this week. It's definitely was a challenge.
Yeah.
To decide to do more than what I did the week before or weeks before. Loading videos on time, trying to get working with teams and working with people. I'm used to just trying to thug it out on my own.
Thug it out.
And it's like
thug life.
It only gets you so far.
It does. You can only go so far on your own. I was reading about basically for my purpose, this, or at least the way I leveled up. I was reading a book on podcasting, and a lot of it has to do with like really taking the content, and it was basically one of the guys was saying you really didn't have to worry about all your lights, your sound, and all that. Just create great content, and if people like the content, then eventually you'll start leveling up the other stuff later on. But your content has to be something that's prolific. It's something that has to stand out from everybody else. And that the more work you do on the content and the more research you do, and the more interesting it is, more people are going to watch it, and then it naturally progresses. Because it doesn't matter what you actually record on. There are people out there recording on cheap like recordings, not probably even as good as we have.
Yeah.
And their content is great because of there's a market out there for those individuals. Guys, we want you to like, comment, and subscribe because we have these things here for you. We want to get feedback. We want to see, we're gonna actually probably eventually get to the point where we have people call in. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man,
tell us what's going on.
That's what you see, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta be ready for that.
You gotta be ready. We eventually. I said eventually.
Be ready for that, dog.
Eventually.
I know, man.
But go ahead, man. You gotta say something.
I see us leveling up in our audio.
Yeah.
I really this is for me. Even I think about after the podcast.
Yeah.
So if you guys see like lights and cameras and really crispy audio, it's because I'm thinking about after the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about those people that want to start a podcast.
Correct.
That need help to start a podcast. I personally, maybe me and Dirk and Tim, are moving towards helping other people start their podcast.
Correct.
And then, like, this is the business model.
Correct.
For moving forward.
For you to follow. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, the podcast is a commercial for the other things that we're doing.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm like, maybe we're moving in that direction.
Okay.
And I take all of this, I try and take this a lot more serious.
Yeah.
That's why I'm taking this serious. It isn't because I wanted to look good for, I wanted to look good for all you great folks out here. Don't get it twisted. I wanted to look awesome and crispy and sound beautiful.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm building my skills and honing my skills to direct, to interview, lighting, editing. There's so many skills you crawl into. Once you decide you were going to, I decided I was going to do it. Like, look, okay, that's just another skill I got to grab, man. Hey, man, this don't look that great. Okay. 8 YouTube videos later. I got it. It's a little bit better.
It's a little better
each
time.
And it's a little bit better each time, and it's leveling us up every week. And I love the process of it. It's annoying at times, but I don't look for motivation to push me. Like, I have to push myself. It's either I'm going to do it or I'm not. And if I'm not going to do it, I'm just got to tell everybody, hey, we done. I'm done. Because I'm not going to tell you I'm going to sit here and motivate myself every day to do it. But I have to tell you that I made a decision to do it.
Exactly.
When I tell you, when I tell you it's going to be done.
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 All right? The decision is made. There's things that's going to have to move. There's other situations that's going to have to, that's going to come. Like this week, I had a lot of stuff going on, man. I decided my group is going to Chicago.
Okay.
We're going to Rockford.
Sincere?
To be on the SOAR Awards.
Okay,
and
sincere.
It's going big. It's going big. It's going big. So this whole week has been kind of rocky, though. Like, I had an issue at school.
Oh, wow.
With the parent.
Okay.
I was not letting go. I did not.
You didn't let go? Okay.
No, I had other teachers tell me, "Hey, man, just go home, girl." I was like, nah, she gonna feel the wrath.
Feel the wrath.
You're gonna get it today. You're gonna get what all these other children didn't get today. You're gonna catch it.
You finna get it.
Like, It's the end of the day too.
This is what teachers have to go through.
Look what I'm saying.
That's why I'm not a teacher anymore.
I'm gone. I'm out. I gotta leave. Because you're not gonna tell me I'm wrong and I'm right. Moving on. No. I had a whole flashback.
Really?
All right.
A whole flashback.
So I'm dealing with kids all week. You tell kids to do the assignments. We done turn this into something else. Motivation, right? Motivation. They don't have the motivation to do the assignment. You got to keep telling them, hey, look, you don't have a grade. You don't have a grade. There's that space where there's no grade is going to turn into an F. And they're going to add up. That's motivation. Then you got to motivate them again.
Negative.
Then I got to motivate them again. The negative reinforcement. And I'm like, this is what I'm getting ready to talk about this weekend on the D&D Level Up podcast. Right here, I was talking about, look, motivation and why is it doesn't keep up with you. Motivation does not keep up with you. You got to keep up with your dream or whatever you're after. You got to keep up with yourself.
You have to have an internal
You can't
drive.
have other people going, you can do it. You can't have mama, daddy is not going to always tell you you can do it.
Exactly. They're not going to be able to motivate you in every aspect.
Your friends aren't going to always tell you, this is a great idea. Some of your friends are going to tell you, this is a horrible idea.
Horrible idea.
Why are you doing this? I wouldn't do it. Your daddies did it a couple years ago, and he failed at it. Why are you doing it? Don't ever do that again. There's some parents that make you feel so bad about being you because you were them. You are them.
You are them.
Now,
exactly.
Okay? Back then, they were doing what you were doing, and now they're going, look, I don't want you to go through that too. So they're giving you pure D hell because you look a lot like them back in the day.
Exactly.
Doing things that they feel they didn't get the reinforcement on. They didn't get people to cheer them on in it, so they gave it up.
You know, so funny. You said, I'll add this last thing is that Prince, his father, named Prince because he said he's doing everything I wanted to do and couldn't do. So I he basically lived through his son. So the reason Prince, that's why, then he was like, man, my dad was still hard on me. And it was like, I mean, if Prince's father wasn't hard on him, like Michael Jackson's father wasn't hard on him, they're really living vicariously through their children because they never actually were successful at what they were doing. They were successful at producing somebody who was successful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They weren't actually successful themselves, but they were like, well, I can't do it. I'm gonna have the drive to produce somebody who's going to be successful. I can't be successful, but at least my child can.
There it is. You got to have that. Sometimes you feel like you really have to have a push.
Yeah.
But that push isn't always what you think it's going to be. It's not. Sometimes it just ain't even enough.
Yeah.
You can have everybody rooting for you, and you still have to decide whether you're going to do it or not.
That's true. You have to make a decision. Bro, I tell you, man, it's not like I haven't heard it before, but when it was related to that particular subject that I was trying to deal with, I was like, yeah, he's right. I just need to make a decision about it. And once I made the decision, I don't have to turn back from it.
You don't. And even if you catch yourself in the middle of it, you can remind yourself that I made
the decision.
The decision.
Yeah. Because you know what? It's almost like, I'll give you an example. Like when you people, you know, as Christians, even if you have a pet sin that's there, it's not good for you. You still could be like petting it every once in a while.
Yeah, you're like,
you know, you still,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you're still here.
You're bad, but you know, I'm gonna pet you a little.
Like, I'm not gonna go all the way that way.
You go all the way with you. I ain't gonna take you for a walk. I'm gonna pet you.
A pet sin.
I ain't take you for a walk.
Oh man.
Every once in a while, you pull me in another direction.
You know how many people got pet sins, bro?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Say if your pet was a dog or a cat, and you had it on a leash, right? And you pet it every once in a while, and then it pulls you. You know how dogs can pull you, right?
Yep.
You can pull you and take you on a walk where you don't want to go.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying?
That's sin right there, dog.
Sin right there.
That's a big dog.
Exactly. It's a big dog. It pulls you in places you want, and then poops everywhere. And you gotta pick it up.
And you gotta pick it up.
You know
you gotta fix all the problems that it causes.
You know what I'm saying? All the problems it causes. So you just have to decide. Listen, I'm gonna take this dog and put it in the pound, get rid of it, get it out my face. I'm not walking it no more. I'm not petting it no more. I'm getting rid of it. It's not gonna crap on nothing that I'm dealing with in my life. You know what I'm saying? And it's done.
You can get rid of it. You can put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or what most people have to do is sometimes that thorn in your side doesn't get taken out, man. It's there. It's there.
Yeah.
And you have to mitigate the blood loss.
The blood loss. Yeah. Exactly.
Because you're literally you're bleeding out from this thorn in your side.
Yeah.
But you have to mitigate.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to live with it. You're living with it for a while. It's just part. Some of it is part of your nature, and you got to go. Hold on, that was nice, but I don't have to keep indulge. I don't have to go that next step and indulge in it.
Correct. Yeah.
Like okay, it's there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm aware.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I'm aware that it's there.
Yeah.
It's like living in Florida, guys.
Yeah.
Like we have whenever y'all see videos of Florida, you have gators everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you go far enough south, you do have gators popping out of the water everywhere.
Yeah.
That it's there.
Yeah.
But you don't go over and pet it.
No, you won't, because
it may look cool. Let's say you really like alligators. You're like, oh, I really like them. But you also know that these alligators do bite people.
Yeah.
They don't like people. They're predators.
They're apex predators.
They will take you, grab you, and drag you into the water because that's what they do.
That's what they do. That's
okay.
Yeah.
So you gotta be conscious of what's going on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to make the best decision for yourself.
True.
To not indulge in what is going on.
Yeah.
Or not go pet the alligator.
Exactly.
Don't pet the alligators.
Don't touch the animals. Please.
Don't touch the animals. Guys, motivation. It's great at first.
Yeah.
It's trash once you get started.
Yeah.
Know that you're going to another level. You're leveling up. You're leveling up. You're leveling up. Right here on the D&D Leveling Up podcast. And if you don't know, now you know. All right, guys. Peace.
Deuces.